Greetings, mortals, and welcome to my desk.
You know, there's too many processes involved. I'm inevitably going to forget at least one of them. Hey, Malekith. Ooh, spooky. There we go. Focus happens eventually. Hey, how's it going, folks? Good to see you. Let's see here. So we can go ahead and, nope, not supersize that. We need to minimize that. We can probably close you. Close you. You are the right one. Okay. I apologize for not having streamed for such a long time. I guess it hasn't been that long since I streamed, but like I've been so sporadic. Things are kind of crazy here at the moment. It has nothing to do with my enjoyment of what I'm doing, which would be convenient if it was, but unfortunately, no. I'm just... Let's see here. This is... What save was I on? This is the 11th of September, so it's definitely not that. Why is this in Jan? Oh, right! Hi, later, Malekith. This had better be after I cleared everything. So is this the right file? No, it's not. Okay, good. So this file is correct. The January file was I just realized that I had started a new game to test a couple things. The GigaChad sort? Is that the the sorting thing that does the thinger? How would I do that? I don't know. I've tried to do it accidentally so many times. What button is that? G. Okay. Array index out of bounds. Function, GigaChad sort, events list. Something's at a -1. We don't appear to have any items. We don't appear to have any items in our inventory now. Let's go ahead and reload this. It's so named because it removes all the items from your inventory and you have to start again. Oh, okay. Let's see. I will pop this. You want me to pop this into the bugs? Bug reports? Let's see. I sleep well. Okay, let's... do I have anything in any of the other? No, it's completely stripped my inventory. That's really funny. Alright, let's see here. Okay, so when last we left off, we were about to head into the tunnels to Eafall, I believe. I think I was also considering whether it would make sense to go into the Barrows first, because of the fact that the tunnels to Eafall are also going to be involving a considerable amount of like the opening for the tunnels to Eafall is not necessarily going to be super consistent. I think that we're going to do the tunnels to Eafall first. I think that that's more fun, and then we'll go into the Barrows. So we have already done our levels. We have skill points. We are going to need to cast Invis to get through the place that we're going through. Though that's not even necessarily that important because it's... no, actually I can just jump up there. I don't need to use the jump spell. We have 20 food. We have 4.8 million gold. I think we're fine on gold. And we are set to go. I think we have torchlight, don't we? Yeah, we already have torchlight. Let's deactivate and reactivate torchlight. 78% is sufficient to prevent respawns. Let's see. So, we will cast Invis, and I do have food. Okay. So, that's so sweaty. I just went to the grab soda downstairs. It's so hot right now in Singapore. I was out at the bird park yesterday, which is great. But when I got home in the evening, it was like 32 degrees at 8 o'clock at night. Just not normal. It's so fucking hot right now. I know that probably isn't hot for people who live in places with more variable weather. It was 32 in Fahrenheit. Some of my peoples are Americans. 32. It's like 90 degrees, which doesn't seem that hot. I understand that it doesn't seem that hot. It is 100% humidity, and the sun in Singapore is punitive. It is very harsh. Let's see here. So I think we're basically just gonna try figuring out an opening for this place. And we'll see how it goes. I'm from Florida, so I'm used to temperatures that are a lot hotter than 90 degrees. But, like, the fundamental architecture of Singapore is designed for an upper limit of about 33 degrees being the highest temperature you're ever going to get. And the lowest temperature you're ever going to get is, like, 20. Like, and it's almost always going to be somewhere in the range of 25 to 30. That's like the typical, the way everything's built. And
it might be useful.
Like, not everybody even has air conditioning here. We're on the equator, and people don't have air conditioning. Okay. So we're going to have to figure out how we're going to handle this problem. This is a huge number of packs that are ranged attackers. They're physical. I cannot jump over this to get into that corner. I think I just remembered how I was going to do this. I was going to do this by wiping this pack slowly. Okay, I think we were going to do this slow and methodical. Let's try a slow and methodical approach. We're going to go ahead and load the autosave before we try anything, because we're not going to do this in a, like, pull every enemy way. We're going to pull as few as we can. I think we had an okay initial bit there. We need to get rid of the shield. We don't need that. We're going to cast Stone Skin. So we now have Stone Skin, we have Fate, Preservation, etc. So We need to keep Silria alive because Silria is the one who is maintaining preservation, which is important. You know, I would argue that preservation is a somewhat important spell to have. On the plus side, there's a lot of misses coming out. Armor class does have the very nice boost that... I am an idiot. It has the nice boost that it's simultaneously a mitigation and an avoidance thing. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, Singaporeans are pretty wealthy on average. Like the economic makeup of Singapore is such that for the most part the like lower class of Singapore is not Singaporeans. That it's, you know, they get temporary laborers from other places to do most of the shit jobs. You know, jobs where you'd be out in, you know, tropical heat all day, like construction, stuff like that. That's all done by foreign laborers for the most part. And so, like, I think about half the population of the country is non-residents at any given time. Which is wild. Like, not non-citizens. I believe it's non-residents. Like, I'm a permanent resident, not a citizen. But I believe that it's... Maybe I'm wrong. Is it half... I could be getting my numbers wrong. It might be half, like, non-citizens. As of several years ago, which those numbers will probably only increase over time, so... Luckily, it looks like this is going fairly smoothly. They're not very aggressively pushing in here. So, since they're not pushing in terribly aggressively, I can basically just lock them in. There aren't a lot of behemoths in here, so as long as I can get them to a corner at all, I'm in pretty good shape. The Medusas are probably going to be way easier than I thought. Just because it turns out that archers are archers, and because they have ranged attacks, I don't have to even worry about them much. So if I can clear out this first entryway, I might be able to use the place where those are hanging out as a kill floor for the big behemoths with consistency. I might not be able to, but I might be able to. We'll just have to see. I aggroed a shit ton of Medusas, probably more than I should have. But my hope here is that some of them will just, you know, slip toward me. Except that's not going to happen. Okay, that one hit me around the corner. So, there we go. So this is actually very good for me. We have two of them here. Okay, that's a summoner. I don't like that. I'm going to keep hitting the summoner. And the summoner's gotten out. That's very bad for me. I can't clear them fast enough to tank the summoner like this, so I'm probably in deep shit, actually. I don't know if I can use this corner to get effect or not. I think very clearly no. So we're going to go around this corner again. We need to go to a different corner. This is going to be very bad. We've now got a setup where we're in a corner that I don't like. But hopefully we can clear through enough of them. Oh shit! I thought the summoner was further away. We're gonna need to start clearing the ones that are out here. And some of these are Empresses, so with the Empresses out here, we should be able to clear through some that can't respawn. They can keep creating the normal ones, but they can't keep creating the Empresses. So any Empresses that I take down are permanently down. Okay, the summoner's right there. It's kind of a wild fight, honestly. There we go. I'm going to pop over to here. I think we might be able to burn you down now. There we go. Perfect. On the plus side, I think we're golden here. Okay. Why am I not hitting you? Alright, and it looks like we can tank some shots from these with reasonable degree of effectiveness. I think we'll be okay. Alright, we've cleared out one of the first bosses.
We don't need this.
We can...
We don't need this.
Is that 35 mind magic? No, it was 23. I completely misread it. Interesting that they're getting up on top of this thing. They can probably fall off at me, so this is not a super safe place to fight them, except for the fact that if they do fall off, I can just pull them into another chokehold that's right next to it, and so we're probably fine there. So this thing's trying to shoot at me. Okay.
That's no good.
Okay.
That's no good.
I think this does anything. Alright, so we've finished the first 10%. Unfortunately, this dungeon does wrap around itself, and I start in kind of a middle location. So hopefully I can kite these successfully. Oh, look. They actually split off when I came in here. So with them having split off like that, this pack is going to fall pretty easily. I was thinking that I was going to have to fight all of the enemies that aren't the Ancient in that tiny little room there all together. But this is actually perfect. If they're going to like split off and get confused, if I get more than a couple inches in there, that's huge. Okay, we'll take out this Behemoth. Did Corbric's regen get buffed again? I don't think so. Very solid now. Like, that regen is good. Right, we have a lot of enemies here. We're going to go ahead and split them off as best we can. Okay, let's see how many we can get to come in here. We need to get close enough to the entrance that they start sifting in. Unless we want to... I don't want to bank on them continuing to stay confused. I'm worried about them all aligning there. It's going to make my life harder. There's a Ancient in this pack. Ooh, they are actually very fast. This is a problem. I think that that's past the point that it was getting locked on in here. So they get locked at some locations, but not all locations. I should have killed those two. I shouldn't have tried to do this. Alright, can I kill you this... Whoa, Jesus! Oh, that was a mistake. Okay. Okay. Fuck. damn. Okay. Oh, mistakes were made. Alright. But we now have an okay idea of how we're going to handle this. We do need to not aggro anywhere near that many enemies. You know, fuck-ups were made. You're gonna... Oh, shit. I didn't have it off. That's fine. So, the Medusas should be pretty... pretty consistent. Silria might have survived that if I hadn't used shared life when I did. Let's see. Let's see. Very solid proof of concept, though. Like, we'd already taken out 11% of the total number of enemies in this dungeon. If we can get through just this next little section, I think we'll be in fairly good shape. It's interesting how they're now much more willing to aggressively push into this corner, whereas before they weren't. I don't know what's going on. It's different right now. Was I just at a slightly different location last time, or did I... RNG into that? There's only a few of them here. I'm gonna try just beating on them for a while. Yeah, they're doing too much damage for that to be a viable strat. Oh. Okay, we're gonna go over here. So from here... Okay. Useless. Alright, so we can clear this one. Or this pair. So you can tell like how crazy this is. The proportion of enemy power that was here was like triple last time. I was at 11% when I finished this, and now I'm at 4%. That's wild. Oh, also, I should mention, I'm going to have to end early today as well, because I'm meeting people for lunch at noon. Ooh, boy. Ooh, boy. Come on, baby. Alright, so we're standing inside the well for now. I was expecting this to go down a little faster, honestly. Wait, do I not have... I have shield instead of stone skin. I was feeling like I was way weaker for some reason. I was like, why am I melting so fast? It's like, oh yeah, you forgot to recast the important buff. Very important that I remember to cast that before I walk in next time, so that it's on the autosave. I say that as if I'm gonna need it. We're gonna do it this time, one shot. Alright, so Silria has the possibility of surviving 2 hits from an ancient behemoth, just straight up. Is this what happened to me last time? I think this is what happened to me last time. I'm not very smart sometimes. Alright, we need to... Oh shit, that's a boss? Shit, I didn't notice there was a boss on me. Okay, luckily we've only pulled some of them. We have 2 in here. There's 2 babies, yeah. 2 of the baby. Right, we're gonna have to kite the exploder or get it locked in to the place. My guess is it'll probably be pretty easy to lock it in over here. The kiting isn't terribly difficult, so that's another possibility. Too close. So that is concerning. I think the exploder can one-shot Silvio. So if the exploder gets his shot off, there's a slightly more than 1 in 5 chance that it just like insta-gives my party. Because if Silvio goes down, preservation drops and you lose. So that's a fail. That's a fail condition. Can you hit me from there? Yes. So, we can't stay in the back and just lead them onto there, but we can lead them onto there and then run past them. So, if we're dealing with any boss behemoths, we should be okay because we have this plinth to work with. Is this a plinth? I don't think this is a plinth. This is a pedestal. I don't think it's a plinth. I'm so happy that the exploders don't actually explode. Because if the exploders actually exploded, that would be like... that would basically make my runs impossible, I think. I think that at that point it would be like, oh shit, well I can't melee that to death. I'd have to create like a backup setup for dealing with that situation specifically. I'd probably just be like, okay, I have to mostly kill it with Thinger, and then pull out the like a bow or something like that, or a spell to finish it off. Alright. I don't want to be taking hits from these. I can survive a hit from this, so I technically can fight them in melee, but there's not really a lot of reason to do that. Alright, we've cleared that. Let's keep going. We've aggroed way more than we needed to. And by extension, way more than we should have. We should be aggroing as few as possible at any given time. I'll hold position until the Ancient gets to me, I think. Which I think was the... Fuck! The correct decision. Except it wasn't. I think I need to get into a controlled position as soon as humanly possible. We're reloading. We didn't put... Okay, swap this for Stone Skin. What do you have cast right now? We don't have Day of Protection, we don't have Hour of Power. We have Day of the Gods, we have Preservation, we have Fate, we have Bless. You have 21% left. Haste, Shield, Stone Skin, and Fate. I have Haste, Stone Skin, and Fate. I don't need Shield, because Shield... Fate, I think, increases crit chance. So, I think the default thing that it does is it gives a huge bonus to a single attack in vanilla. So it gives you like a plus... huge amount to the attack bonus for a single attack. So it's like meant to be like, okay, the next attack you do with this character is guaranteed to hit. Something along those lines. I don't remember the details, but it's like an ultra short duration buff. Not very useful in vanilla, but it's been reworked to give you crit chance, which is very solid. So my characters are probably mostly sitting on the crit cap, but like Ashcore isn't even crit capped, which is a little bit surprising. But are there any other buffs that can mitigate my physical damage intake? I don't think so, right? It's pretty much just going to be Stone Skin and Day of the Gods. Per 3 cast levels. So you have... I think there's not much option for you. I think that you're pretty much set in terms of what you're going to want to invest in. Let's see. Yeah, I need to play safer. Every corner in here is going to need to be very carefully taken, and I'm going to forget every time. That is my guarantee. That's the Arctole guarantee. Sloppiness every time. Can you imagine if I tried to become a speedrunner? Like, more than anything else, the thing that speedrunners are good at is consistency. Like, learning a thing and, like, executing the thing that they have learned 1,000 times until they've got it done. Okay, we've got a fairly difficult Behemoth pack in there. However, I believe that the Ancients can't get out of there at all. Oh god, we've released the Kraken. By the Kraken, I mean the Medusas. I think we might be okay here, but I'm not positive. We got the Medusas on us now, so we're probably boned. Oh, yeah, we're definitely boned. Yeah. I needed to not get myself that far in the corner. As soon as the Medusas started coming out toward me, I needed to actually rotate around and get back into this area, this section, to basically re-block line of sight. We have a boss that we are going to have to fight off the bat, I believe. Good fucking luck. I'm gonna try to burn the Ancient before I start moving. Okay. I don't know how I'm gonna handle that boss. That boss is going to be able to follow me basically everywhere. So, unless I basically get it locked in a place that I'm not guaranteed to, I'm basically boned. I need to go to a different location. I can't fight them here. I'm going to try to fight here. This is not going to work. Probably just dead here. Oh, there's a Swift Medusa as well. Alright, that's GG. Okay, so if there's a boss in that pack. Okay, we're gonna cast Invis first. With Invis precast, we should have the ability to basically identify if there's a problem here. And I should have just... Whoa, mistakes were made. What I should have done was just looked and seen that there was no thing there, but I was I wanted to do something fancy. We're not doing fancy stuff. We are going to try to just do this with good old-fashioned stuff. Those are just normal ancient behemoths. Those aren't bosses, I think. So we should be able to just sit here and pull them to us. We haven't found an appropriate... We haven't found a corner that we can actually get these truly, like, hard locked behind. So, once we find the first corner that, like, truly works to hard lock the melees as well as the ranged, we'll be in much, much better position. We cannot have... Oh, Jesus. That was a bad idea. Yeah, this is gonna be rough.
Come on, let's go in.
This is gonna be rough, but it's gonna be okay. I think that we should be able to get this down. I don't think that this is gonna be completely out of control. The armor changes are helping us a lot here. For a long time, the physical damage was really, really way higher for us. And between the combination of the AC getting way higher and the like my tanky character being tankier just generally, and the armor class becoming more valuable, we are going to be in way better shape for this. If we had tried to do this before we got Silria set up as a tank, I'm actually not sure. If we had tried to do this before we got Silria set up as a tank and before the AC change, preservation would be the old version. And like single target damage from melees, even if they are fast enough to pretty consistently just slam into me, is not that threatening. Yeah. I love how this one was just sitting there for so long, and it's now like released. So the buff change makes it so that preservation is tied to the consciousness of the person who is casting it. So buffs now require the constant. Basically, if the person who is casting a buff goes unconscious, you lose that buff until they get conscious again. So what that means for me is that if Silria goes down, people die, right? So if Silria goes down, that's a fail state now. It wasn't a fail state before for Silria to go unconscious. So we have a new fail state that we just didn't have before. I do think that if I was going to build this party again using this... if I was going to build this party again, I think Silria is probably set up the way that I want Silria set up. I might prefer to use a Paladin. I'd have to look at what Paladin stuff looks like. Like what the Paladin... If Paladins get GM Shield and GM Plate, which they might, I don't know if they do or not. If they get that, then I would want to swap up to a Paladin instead of a Thinger. And basically set Silria up fundamentally as a Thinger. I feel like I'll have to look at what I would want for my setups. I can calculate out what buffs I can cast, and obviously that can be a little bit of a problem, because if I'm calculating that out and then anything changes, that causes problems for me. I'm not sure if I would bring the shaman again, or not. I can try investing heavily into the shaman's thing. I have 20 enlightenment on everybody, so not everybody. There's 2 characters that can have enlightenment, and both of them are at GM. That's an exploding behemoth? Where the fuck did you come from? Well, that's concerning. I don't have a good answer to you right now. I just have to hope that you don't come through that door. Coming over here, by the way, was a very dangerous proposition, and it went through the door. Alright, we need to figure out how we're going to handle you. He is coming through this door. Okay. Shit. Okay, that's an Empress. That's not the Behemoth. Did the Behemoth get stuck? There's still an enemy in that room. Is it the Behemoth? Oh, it's the Behemoth. The Behemoth might be trapped in that room. Okay, if we can get them stuck in that room as well, then we have multiple avenues of trapping them, which means that we can meaningfully deal with packs that leak through. So, if you're trapped in here, which I don't think it's actually trapped in here. Oh, no it is. This is actually trapped in here. I was thinking that it just got, like, stuck in a... 20 enlightenment is better than 20, but not for the purpose that I care about. So this gives you a mana pool increase per point, and I don't care about my actual mana pool because I'm casting few enough spells that I never have problems maintaining the spells that I'm casting. The cost of the buffs is based off of your max SP. So the only part of enlightenment that's relevant to that component, technically the max MP increases your ability to cast spells. If you ignore casting spells entirely, which is what we're going to do for right now. If you ignore casting spells and you're just worried about the buffs, increasing your mastery is the only thing that matters. So once you hit GM at 20, you get no further advantages for buffs. However, when you have a bunch of your mana pool devoted to buffs, right? That mana pool can't be used for casting spells. So increasing your mana pool, so like as an example, the 20 points that I have there double Kortal's mana pool, right? And it's a good thing that they do, because if I had a base mana pool that was like 2,000 or whatever, if I had a 2,000 mana pool and I only had 2.4% mana to play with, I don't think I could cast Shared Life. Where's Shared Life? Shared Life costs 40. So I think I might be able to barely afford a single Shared Life on this mana bar, because I functionally have a mana bar of 97 now. So reaching thresholds can matter for that purpose. From a practical perspective, if you're consuming a huge portion of your mana bar to buffs, and you're probably not casting heavily enough that it matters that much, but it can matter for thresholds. If you're aggressively casting spells, your mana pool also, I believe, increases the amount that you regenerate with meditation. So meditation and enlightenment have a mutually beneficial relationship with each other in that context. That being said, it's probably not going to be that impactful I mean, I shouldn't talk out of my ass about spellcasters because I'm not really that familiar with, like, the ascendancy mechanics and stuff like that are things that I don't have any real experience with. So I'm going to talk out of my ass about it, but bear in mind that I am talking out of my ass. 5% is a really good amount for those first 20 points because of the fact that each additional point costs more to invest into. Like, increasing your mana pool by 100% by going up to 20 is a really big deal. Increasing it by another 50%, right? Because you now have double the mana pool and you're getting the same amount of mana. Getting another 50% for, you know, I don't know how much more it costs to get from 20 to 40. So what is it? It's an average cost of 30 times 20. So that should be like 600 skill points-ish, something around the lines of 600 skill points, versus like, what is it? 1 to 20 would be 200-ish skill points, right? So like it's costing triple the value for only 50% of the relative value. I was being fairly slow there. I wasn't going that crazy. But I was not nearly as careful as I should have been. Let's see here. So my guess would be that it's probably going to be very worth it to get to 20. And then from that point, you're really going to start getting diminished returns on that. If I had to guess, I would say probably at a certain point, once you've got a huge amount invested in other stuff, there's a possibility that it becomes relevant and important to get your skill up to 40. Because, like, 40 is not very high, right? Like, I just picked up the shield skill, like, 2 level ups ago, like, maybe 3 zones ago, and I have 27 already. Like, 40 isn't that high. There's a decent chance that it'll be worthwhile to get it up to 40 in the extreme late game, just for the increased mana pool to give you more mana regen to play with. But it would be substantially lower in priority compared to any of the other stuff, especially because of the fact that it costs like the full amount, whereas spell skills don't cost the full amount. As long as you're getting more than one of them, they're giving you a discount. So
Useless.
okay. Got one here. Okay. That's not great. I was honestly not expecting to have... Alright, this is a problem. We're gonna run around this corner. We still have them on us. Get in here, and none of them actually jumped in on us, which is good. So hopefully we can get... Well, it would have been better if one of them did, but... I see 2 normal behemoths. I didn't see what the third is here. So, looks like it's 3 normal behemoths that have leaked already. Yeah, the fundamental issue that I'm running into with the shaman is that they are very squishy. Ooh, that was concerning. They're very, very squishy. I think that I might, if I was going to do something like this again, I might need to figure out how to get... I don't know if there's any elemental casters that wear plate. Because the thing that you get out of leather is, in theory, maybe some additional resistance over plate, but because the leather gives you more resistance, I believe, than plate does. Yeah, it gives you about 50% more resistance than plate does per AC. But the AC gives you way more AC. So, like, the leather gear really would require that you have a bunch of, like, actual resistance gear that you're multiplying off of. And so that's... Basically, the leather doesn't give you, in my opinion, a meaningful durability improvement versus that kind of stuff. And that's a problem. Oops. This is a mistake. I got myself in the corner there. Yeah. As long as I keep being sloppy, we're going to really struggle. I don't know how far we're going to have to go before we can save. Technically speaking, we do have a setup where we could save. Like, we can save in the yellow, as long as we're not... We can save in the yellow. So, this is a dungeon where it would probably be worth it to do so as well. They're probably all going to come in at the exact same time, aren't they? I don't want to move. I want to stay right here, as long as they're not all coming in at once. If they all come in at once, I'm going to try to lock them on the pedestal. And if it's the ancient, then I'm going to try to just lock it on the pedestal either way. Okay. Got the para. Weirdly enough, because of how, like, fast I'm attacking, I can kind of just hit stun enemies to death pretty effectively. Like, a single enemy is going to struggle to get into melee range with me. But yeah, so technically speaking, I could do like an earlier save. I think that there's Medusas in this room, but I could be misremembering. Fuck. We got multiple packs. Ooh, that's a leecher? Ooh, that's very close to worst case scenario for me. We haven't figured out a solid place to fight them. Is that the leecher? The leecher's right here. So if I could get the leecher to come in, that would be great for me. Okay, we got this ancient here. Unfortunately, I think if I get too far back, they're more likely to like leak in faster. So, but I think we're okay here. We don't have the leecher, which is unfortunate because I want the leecher early in this pack. I want to like. Basically, I'm going to have to take a couple of hits from the leecher by dragging it and drag it into one of these rooms and leave it in that room. So we can, I think we're not going to drag it into this back room. I think we're going to drag it into this room instead. Because maybe not actually. This room has the disadvantage that if we lock it into that room, it's going to take a little bit longer for us to get out of reach of it. Whereas with this one, we're going, because it can't move at all. Alright, this one is coming in. Shit! Oh man, I can't fuck up with this. It is very important that I not fuck this up. Okay, we need you to come in here and stand right on top of this, and then not hit Silvery as I run by you. Except you're not coming in. The worst part is that I'm going to be in Mana Drain zone, like, the entire fucking time. So... what is it, P? Okay, we're disabling cover on Silria, because if a cover proc has her stand in front of somebody and take the hit from this boss and die instantly, that's going to be very sad. So, come on, buddy. We might be able to just kill it here, actually. My guess is no. We need to be ready for it to do that. Though, we might be able to fight it here and not actually get in range of it at all. Either way. Like, when it moves, we have to back off just in case it charges us from through that thing. I think we just got the para. I think this leecher's dead. I'm not positive. This has a lot of HP, holy shit. We got the leecher. So, even these little behemoths are still dangerous. The youngs I don't think are, but the normal tier behemoths, if they hit the wrong target too many times, they can definitely be a threat, so we're gonna just do that. Pop over here. This one we should be able to just clear out trivially. Done. And let's see how this goes. We've now taken out, what, 2 bosses? Something along those lines. And hopefully the rest of this pack isn't too crazy. I should have probably pulled this away, but that's okay, I guess. Fuck. Oh god, I put myself in the wrong position. Luckily, we got one of the paras that we need. We have 2 of them paralyzed. So now it's just this one ancient. I shouldn't be kiting this direction, but I'm going to anyway. Okay, we got the para. Go up to this one, get the kill here. And go up to this one, and get the kill here. Alright. Alright. Okay, we have some Medusas here. Medusas probably won't be too much of an issue, as long as we can get them to a corner. I don't really like this corner. This is a really bad corner. We've got an ancient there. So I think we're just going to pull for now. And I think we're just going to go into these corners. I'm kind of surprised that ancient behemoth isn't more of a problem for us. We're just going to stand right here, and we're going to hope that they just walk up to this corner where we want them to come. Which they seem to be doing for now. So the problem is that we also have to deal with the ancient, and we can't really just take the ancient, like, full on. So we're going to have to move a bit. We can just tank shots, like pot shots from the peanut gallery are not a problem for us really. We got the para. Let's go. So let's get into this corner where we want to be. We want to be directly in this corner so that we're encouraging them to bunch up. How many are left? There's only a few left, but we're far enough in that I don't want to take too many risks. So that's an Empress. I'm going to dive in here, see if we can get them to start approaching where we want, and we can. Certainly can. Okay. plate armor. We got a cutlass. We found multiple suits of plate here, which is nice. We're at 25%. So we're certainly getting there. And because of the nature of the zone, we are going to struggle to get to a place where we're in the green. But I think we might get into the green when we... Oh shit, I pinned myself. Okay. We might get into the green as we clear out these. Because I don't know if it rotates all the way around to here or not. We don't have a weakness proc. I think those are Medusas. But I'm not sure. If it's Medusas, that's great for us. It's Medusas. So, Medusas are not too much of a problem. I guess they're Gorgons, right? It is very funny to think of, like, referring to, like, an entire species as a Medusa. And it's like, Medusa is just, like, a person's name. Poor Medusa. And Medusa isn't a Gorgon, I don't think. Like, I think Medusa was basically turned into something akin to a Gorgon, but I don't think the other Gorgons were cursed. I think the other Gorgons are just, like, monsters, right? Greek mythology is wild. Like, it's mostly just Zeus going around raping women. Like, seems to be the plot of basically everything. I would argue that probably 80 to 90% of the entire Greek mythological canon is directly tied to Zeus's predatory behavior in some way, shape, or form. Right? Like, because I think that Hera's behavior can be pretty directly associated with Zeus's behavior, right? Like, I don't know what the hell their whole dynamic is, but I feel like their dynamic is, like, is weird. Whoa. So, like, I kind of get the impression that Hera just kind of hates women and is, like, happy for the excuse to do bad things to people. But the, yeah, Greek mythology is wild. Yeah, I don't remember the details on Medusa's whole deal, but okay. Well, let's take a look in the bottom left corner here. Just all the bottom corner, for that matter. I feel like there's a possibility that we can get into the green in the center there. I don't remember how far around this is going to wrap. So we're on the lookout for the green. We might have it now. We do. We have the green. GG. So we can now afford to be sloppy, and that's fine. I would still prefer not to be. I'd like to do things correctly, but we're going to take a look at our gear that we found because it won't be quite as depressing when we inevitably lose it, because we won't actually lose it. We got some okay plate.
Useless.
Got a ring.
Who knows?
We have a lot of stuff over here. I was thinking, did I die every time I got plate? Only one plate, that's not a lot. That is interesting. That's a very strong durability piece. We have some garbage. All right, so we didn't find a ton of good stuff, though we do find a bunch of crafting diamonds, and crafting diamonds are going to pay dividends over time. Excuse me. So I am curious how I want to do the next run. There's too many different styles of run that I could play with, and I'm wondering what I would want to do next. I could do... I'm thinking about doing a spellcaster run, because I'm very curious about that. If I did a run with a full party that has access to elemental spells, I'm curious to see how it would go. Like if I had a druid and then like a bunch of like elemental spellcasters. It honestly could be fun to just do a bunch of druids and then like someone for light magic and someone for dark magic. I'm not sure who has access to light magic and elemental magic though. Oh shit, this is a swift. I don't want to fight a boss like legit. I guess I have saved, so I could, and it would be fine. Yeah, I should actually be fixated on the swift Medusa. Okay, we're fine. So it doesn't really matter who we're hitting now. They're both paralyzed. It's actually slightly probably more optimal for me to hit this one, even though it's weaker and less relevant. Okay, we're at 36% completion, and this is also a dungeon we're going to get 100% completion on, which is really nice. We'll be able to finish this dungeon as opposed to... getting it to like 60% completed. We are now in the green. It's my expectation that now that we have cleared as much as we have, we're going to start getting in the clear a lot more frequently, because a large portion of this dungeon is
It might be useful.
like surrounding that inner area. And so, basically, as we're rotating around this middle area, that middle area that we've already cleared is no longer going to be contributing problems for us. Alright. They might all be too far away and just rotate into us. That is a bad time for a coughing fit. Luckily, they all rotated where I needed them to go. Excuse me. You know, I forgot this even rotated around again. Right. So we have some more over here, and luckily we do have a lot of good corners to play with now. So I guess we do need to rotate south from here, because I think the place that we're going is actually like the continuation where these things are coming from continues on. So I think we're just going to go straight south. Though it looks like they both connect up to the same place, so it doesn't really matter that much. Okay, we definitely want to be close enough to the wall that they're just kind of rotating toward us. Easy, also peasy. That's a summoner, so it's a good thing that we got it stuck in the wall here. So we can burn through these, and we're making progress. We're making quite a lot of progress. And we're not going to have to worry about, like, falling over dead from exhaustion, I don't think. We hit 3 a.m. and didn't even get weak, so it should be quite a while before we're at risk of dying of exhaustion. And we're in the green, so we're going to go ahead and save. And we're just going to rotate. We're just going to keep rotating this way. Let's see how it goes. I really hope I find a legendary in here. We've gone several zones without finding one, including Thunderfist, which is a very high-level zone. Well, that's unfortunate. I don't think we have that many aggroed on that other side, so I am just going to stand here and fight these. And if they're going to rotate the way that they're rotating right now, that's actually amazing for me, because they're rotating into position where they would have... Let's tag the Behemoth. Okay. So I think we've already been in that room. We've just aggroed somebody. I don't know if there's anybody over here. Okay, we're fine here. I think we're fine here probably. Yep. So, baseline Medusa.
Want some? We could sell it.
Okay, we have a couple of Medusas now. I don't think any of these are bosses, are they? It turns out they're all bosses. Whoa, who dis? That's a concern. Okay. Fine. Alright. So we're all good. We've got another pack cleared. We've got some junk. We've got some more junk. Okay. I'm gonna go into this corner. I don't know if this is gonna be a good corner for me. Probably not. But it's actually fine. This rotated, and because it was rotating onto the ramp, it actually fell down toward me. Oh, there's only the two in here. Never mind. I was thinking that I had aggroed two of a larger pack, so I was trying to be a little bit careful there, but we've cleared about half the zone now in terms of just HP values, but I think that in terms of time spent in the zone, we've cleared way more than half now. I believe that there are a lot of places coming up where, I think there's a lot of places coming up where we can basically, like, trivially lock enemies into corners, or otherwise deal with them. There's a lot of like elevated locations where we can deal with behemoths trivially. I think that overall this place is going to be pretty smooth from here on in. It's just a matter of figuring out what we're going to do. Okay, hello friends. Don't know who this is. Looks a hell of a lot like behemoths. Okay, control cues up. Okay, we got the behemoth down. Crossbow, staff. Okay, those are locked in that corner. So if the ancients can't get through there, then we're probably mostly golden here. Except for the fact that we've now pulled an entirely separate set of packs. Okay. So we're going to try to dismantle this group a bit. And we have successfully done so. We're going to stand right here for right now. Clear this out. There's a halberd. Not likely to be useful. We got an Empress. Okay. Yeah, one of the things that I'm probably going to do in future playthroughs is be a bit more aggressive with like the type of weapons that I'm playing with, and maybe I'm going to probably play with the crafting system a lot more aggressively earlier in the game. This is the swapper. That's a concern. Can I just take you out, actually? I mean, I can if I get the para. I don't think these actually hit hard enough to be a really high value threat to me. I could be wrong, but I feel like the swappers are... That's interesting. Swappers. The Medusa bosses, I don't think are actually bad. Oh shit! I'm such a dope. Okay, this is a young behemoth. Oh, it's more than one. Right, one of them is parried. Okay, that was spookier than it had to be. Alright. Got a couple ancients here, and we have the fully paralyzed boss there, which is pretty funny. So it definitely wasn't still hitting us. So they do have the ability to swap with other random enemies nearby when they're low on HP. And it swapped at basically 0 life, which is kind of oh Jesus! I thought I'd already killed this pack. Oh no! I thought that I'd already picked them all up, so I thought that I was in the clear, and it turns out I was not at all. There was a whole extra pack in there. That probably should have killed me. That was very sloppy. On the plus side, though, it looks like the Ancients can't get out of there, like at all. The ancients did not get pulled out with me, so I think that they're also stuck. Perfect. Okay. I was thinking that those might be close enough to tag me. Oh, this is the cloak from before. So our inventory is full. Interesting. All right. Okay. We're going to identify this. We don't need to bring it with us.
Yes.
Let's see. Let's get plus 20 arms master on it. Too bad nobody that I have with axes is an arms master user.
That's no good.
Let's see.
Ooh.
Plus 46 on stats. Personality and luck. Probably don't need that.
Useless.
I'm gonna take this anyway, just in case, because I'll have to look at that stuff. Let's take a look at our inventory, see what we have
Worthless.
picked up. Let's get rid of this thing. Endurance. This is plus 55 to all resistances. It does have mind resistance, which is bad, but I can purge that. Let's see.
Worthless.
Cutlass. So the stuff that's actually like fully pointless, I'm gonna get rid of. I think.
It's worthless. It's worthless. It's worthless.
Hold on to the other stuff for now. Speed, intellect, and body.
It might be useful.
Int fire resistance and fire resistance. So the fact that this has of the Phoenix on it is fairly nice.
Ooh.
Yes.
So we have this, which we don't need. We have
Sure.
this, which we also don't need. Wand. Alright. We'll hold on to that for right this moment, but probably not for that long. Alright, we are set. So we've cleared out this little section here. And still nothing too exciting. But that's okay. And we can pop down to here. We can save the game here. Oh, that's interesting. So this is an extremely tight section where even the young behemoths can't get through. So for this section, we can just walk. We can basically just walk through all of these enemies. This is gonna speed things up a bit. Yeah, we're gonna have to rotate back to here, but then from here, these can't get through here. We're getting close to the point where we can leave the dungeon without issue. It's 10:30 already. I want to finish this dungeon before I end, but I do probably have to end at 11 o'clock regardless. I'm going to get confirmation on that, but I think we're going out at noon, so I need to end in about 30 minutes so that I can actually get prepared
Yes.
to be out the door at noon. This has a lot of AC on it. I'm gonna take it just for the hell of it. Okay, so we should be able to clear these without too much difficulty now. It is interesting how the beginning of this dungeon is so hard compared to the rest of the dungeon. Because the rest of the dungeon is too small for these enemies. The behemoths really are just going to continuously struggle with the layout of this dungeon. I'm actually going to ignore that one because there's only the one, and it'll probably rotate toward me to a better position just by
It might be
me
useful.
going somewhere else. Do we have... Oh, actually, I got out of the more effective piece here. Got a ring. Are there no enemies down here? Oh, interesting. So we don't have to worry about this for now. We can just rotate back over here. I'm just going to jump up, I think. And we will pop back down if we end up having too many enemies here. I don't know where we're going to fight these. But it's definitely not right in this spot. But I might be able to fight them just right here. As long as I can stand here and just keep holding A and have it work, I think I'm going to, because I don't think they're going to stay in a position where they can hit me. So some of them will periodically come close enough to hit me, but I don't know how effectively they can hit me from their like default positioning here. Okay, let's try this. 65%. Monsters are weakened, can no longer resurrect. Let's go. Okay, got halberd.
This is good.
We jump back up. Oh, fuck. Fail to jump back up. Succeed at jumping back up. Alright. Okay, well, you know, it was bound to happen eventually, right? Unfortunately, I was like, I'm shocked that I haven't been turned to stone. I don't think I have an immunity item to that on Ashcore. Everybody else is immune to all status effects, but Ashcore has a lot of random vulnerabilities. One of which is petrification. I was like, maybe I have a petrification item on? Just don't remember. But alas, no. We are susceptible to it. Oh, we will put cover back on. It's a little bit odd to put cover on the character that is using preservation. It's like, well, why are you using cover on the person who you don't want to go down? But my primary healing is coming from shared life. So the primary damage that Silria is taking is actually not from Silria taking damage. It's from specifically Cortal taking damage. Cortal taking damage is... Cortal takes way higher damage than anyone else does, So any damage that goes into Quartal is basically a multiplier on the damage dealt, and then that gets eventually propagated to Silria via shared life. So it's better for Silria, generally speaking, to be covering than to be not covering, because Silria takes the least amount of damage of any party member. So her doing a cover is great for me, even from the perspective of her own survivability in the long term. Now, the only context where that ceases to be the case is where either I've already taken a bunch of damage. Basically, it's the final hit I don't want going into to Silria. So I don't want Silria covering if she's in one-shot range. Anything other than one-shot range, I want her covering, because if she covers, like, Korgrik, for example, she'll take less damage than Korgrik would have from the hit, and as a result, my party will have more HP to play with when the shared life comes out than it would have if she took the hit. So, dumping a bunch of points into cover on Silria would be very valuable, actually. I'm not going to, because I can't afford it with my current build. But
It's worthless.
it's a thing to consider at the very least.
Now here's something.
It's useful to have high mitigation targets taking hits. Alright, we're not going to go down that way. We're going to go over this way first. Oh, it looks like one of them rotated into that little room there. I'm just going to go this way, I guess. Wait, did I just get into the green? Yes, I did, for like a split second. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do another save. How many saves do we have left? We have 4 saves left. So that's fine. So we've aggroed some of those over there. There is a ramp leading up.
There's no room.
These think that they have line of sight on me, but don't actually. These I'm not going to try to fight here, because I don't think there's a ton of reason. Well, actually, no, I will, because they're splitting aggressively. So as long as they're willing to split this this badly, I will come fight them. Those two haven't even come in. So this is 2 normal behemoths. Not a concern. And we have already saved, so even though there is risk standing still against a behemoth, it's very small. Like, there's not a ton of it. There's just like a little bit of risk standing in front of a behemoth like that. So I'm willing to take that little bit of risk. And it looks like the Ancients can't come through. So with the Ancients unable to come through, we should be in pretty good shape to finish this section without too much difficulty, because we only have to deal with mid-tier behemoths here. But yeah, I do also need to make sure that I'm not using too much lifesteal, or sorry, too much shared life. Now that there's such a huge disparity in my lifesteal, it's important for me to not drain Silria's HP unnecessarily. Silria has the most HP to play with, I believe. She might be below Korgrik. But she has a lot of HP to play with, and that sounds great, right? But she also has the lowest self-healing, which means that if I'm taking a bunch of pot shots with other characters, and then transferring some of Silria's HP away from her and into them, they're going to lifesteal back up to full HP fairly rapidly, And then she won't. She'll be sitting injured. Whereas if I just don't heal them, and I just leave them below full HP, they will, they'll lifesteal back up, and Silvery will be at full HP. So there's a valuable dynamic in that. This is going to be amazing for me. I can pull every behemoth into this section to get this done. We have 23 minutes before we are going to have to end, and this is just going to be smooth from here on out. I think it's just smooth sailing. I'm pretty happy with the way that this dungeon has gone. I felt like there was some difficulty early on, followed by sort of like a mixed period, followed by what we now have, which is kind of an I win button with this pit. It's probably going to last us a long time. I feel like this pit will last us for kind of the bulk of what's left. We're at what completion? We're at 79% completion. So I feel like the bulk of the enemies remaining can probably be dragged into this pit. There are going to be Medusas that we have to deal with, and Medusas can't be like fully trivialized by a pit like this. I'm not even going to jump down on those Medusas until I kill the Ancient here. Even though I'm definitely going to clear them out before... Where are you? There we go. Alright.
That's
All set. Wow. We need to get out of here, actually. Just jump back up here. How funny would it be after we have discovered this thing to lose a huge amount of progress to just not bothering to use it properly? Just getting cocky. I think I'm fine getting cocky here.
Who wants some?
See, if I died in this place, that would have actually been really funny. If I died in the other place, it would have been more sad and tragic. So now we have 2 paralyzed ancient behemoths, and then 2 non-paralyzed ones. I think that they just came out of para? Question mark. I think there was one that was not paralyzed, and then the other one that started on me was actually a one of the paralyzed ones coming out of paralysis, and then this one, or whichever one, the one that
useless.
came in on me last, was the other paralyzed one, because they're both gone now. So that thing teleported back because it got out of Thinger. We have established that they can climb up there. That's actually very convenient for us, because establishing that at the moment that we did is very useful for us. We could have been in serious trouble. Okay, that's interesting. Do we want to just fight you? A single... this is probably a bad idea, but we're gonna... It's fine. Okay. I really like the ability to just swap which buffs I'm using. I think that's very fun. Unfortunately, this is going to be a somewhat annoying... It's not a bad place to fight these Ancients, but it's kind of an annoying place to fight them because they're basically like moving away because they're getting locked into a position where they eventually warp out. Because they get like out of bounds. So I can try fighting you here. Okay. I don't know how many bosses there are going to be left in here. We've killed quite a few bosses. So it's possible that we've cleared most of the bosses from here already. It's also possible that there's a bunch of extra bosses that we haven't seen yet. For some reason that one wasn't... When I looted that thing's body, I didn't get anything. It didn't have a gold drop. So these will not consistently come out, it looks like. They come out, like, inconsistently. Wait, when I'm trying to loot those, are their bodies just warping? Is that what's happening? I think these warped. Interesting. Okay. Can I fight you? Okay, never mind. Doesn't actually have any relevance. Okay, there's a Medusa up here that we can clear. This one we should probably be able to clear without too much difficulty. We have another group over here. There aren't that many of them, so it's kind of tempting to just jump up and down on them. But there are now going to be more. I think that that's also Medusas, right? Yeah. A lot of times you can like identify on the map what kind of enemy something is just by virtue of its movement speed. No, that's okay. We're gonna dive this one. This one. Okay. I just used a shared life to heal Gordrick. That was very suboptimal. Let's see.
This is good.
So we're gonna just dive these. These seem to be fully just locked in these corners. So, like, we should be able to just plow through these. Then with these toast, we will potentially be able to start saving somewhat nearby, but probably not, because this group of Medusas over here is going to cause problems for us. Either way, it's there. This leads up to here. So this is, oh, and there we go. We are actually able to save right now. We're going to go ahead and do it. We have 3 saves left in us. We're going to go ahead and just jump over this hole. And dive the Medusas over here. I think it'd be very cool to have Silria as out of control as Severia has been at certain points during the game. Having like a shit ton of healing on Silria would be very funny, I think. It'd just be very amusing to have her like super tanky but also able to heal very effectively. I don't know that it would make sense to invest into
Great.
too many of the DPS stats. To be frank, like, I don't know that the DPS stats are super relevant to my interests with her. But I'm just going to check up here to make sure that I've actually fully gotten everything from this little section. Looks like I have. I mean, I guess there's a couple of corpses to loot, but I can loot those on the way out. Yeah. Alright. So we're at 93%. We have 13 minutes left. This is actually taking longer than I expected, just because it's such a huge zone. So, and also the 8 enemies have huge amounts of HP as well. There's that. But either way, we're going to pop down here and just get into the last section here. How are we doing? I think we just have the one room left. So it's just this long corridor over here. And with this long corridor done, we will be finished with the Tunnels of Evil. And funnily enough, this will be the first time that I do Tunnels of Eofall at this point in the game, I think. I think I usually skip Tunnels of Eofall during my runs at this point. I don't usually add that to the list until later on in the run. But I could be wrong. It's possible that I do, in fact, do it at this point. But I don't think so. I think I usually do, like, go into Nyone, but don't go into the Tunnels of Eofall. Which is very backward, actually. The way that my runs work, I really should be doing it this way every time. This is more consistent with the mechanics as established. Than going into Nyone immediately. I think part of the... Oh, you know why it is that I go to Nyone immediately? I know why. So Nyone is an important component of the run, because Nyone is when you get access to Town Portal as a spell. So the minimum travel requirement means that you have to go to Nyone around this time either way. But yeah, I think in the future for my runs, I am probably going to do Tunnels of Eofall first, and then backtrack from there into Nyone. Because I think that makes more sense. Now, is it going to be feasible on most of my runs? I don't really know, actually. This is like an extremely late game zone. There's a lot of good places here, but you don't start out with them, right? Like, you don't start out with the, you know... Oh, fuck me! I was holding forward. Oh, God. So these can climb up at certain angles, but not at all angles. So we now... How funny would it be if I actually died here? We might do it. These behemoths might be living the dream. They are living the dream. There we go. Look at that. So I should have saved after I killed those Medusas, because I have the saves. Is that the first time that we've died since we got past the intro? I think that's the first time that we've died on this, this run segment. Keep an eye on my messages. Alright, let's go. Jeez. Taking quite a lot of damage here. Rotate around this corner. This is just a bunch of little behemoths. Oh, never mind, there's an ancient as well. Wait, did we finally find a corner that we can fight the behemoths on? Holy shit. Imagine if we had found this on before we died there. Like, if we had just come to this corner, we would have survived that. That's really funny. Holy shit, that was very negative.
Great.
Alright, so that was sloppy of me to die there, but, you know, that's what we come to expect from me. We're going to save right now, and we're going to pull these again. And do we want to try to do that corner? I think we might want to try to just do that corner. See if it works. Because if we can get all of these into that corner, and the corner works, then we'll have like a nice corner play for the last pull, like the last major pull. There will probably be some stragglers that are left behind. But if this works, it'll be really cool, actually. So... maybe a no. 2 point. Need to jump over. Okay, we got the Ancient stunned. And the others are not climbing up right here, so they might leak eventually. And they might not leak. We don't actually know. This Ancient is leaking. Are the Ancients able to get up and the others can't? Is that how it works? I don't think so. I think the others were also able to get up earlier. I think it has to do with angle, and I think that the angle of approach... Though it might be that the Ancients can just get up at any angle. Okay, so the Ancients are big enough to climb up this. The non-Ancients I don't think are. So we're just going to clear out the rest of these behemoths. Dungeon complete.
Want some?
Okay.
No.
So Queen Medusa here. Crafting item. Okay. And we've cleared out the last big pack of this dungeon, I think. Weirdly, we do still have 3% left according to the map. I think the... I don't think that that's accurate. I think we have way less than that. I don't, like... I think that, like, we have maybe 1 or 2 enemies left after this Ancient Behemoth. I don't think we have a lot. Because I'm pretty sure that the area these came from is the last little corridor. This, I think, is the end of the... Oh, wait, no, there's more there. The tunnel goes deeper than I thought it did. But we're still in the green. So... yeah, this is the end of the dungeon. So I was thinking that maybe there were a few more over here, but it looks like there aren't even that.
We don't need this.
Okay. We finished this section, but we haven't finished the Barrow Downs. We cannot go to Land of the Giants yet, and we cannot go to the other place yet, because to Nyon, because we still haven't finished the Barrow Downs. We still have one more dungeon left to do, that dungeon being the barrows themselves. I'm going to go ahead and go into double speed while I talk, so I'll tell you all when I end the double speed. But let's see, the barrows themselves will be interesting. I anticipate some difficulty. It might seem weird to anticipate difficulty given how much, like, given the fact that we were able to handle this fairly readily, honestly. But unless I forgot to cast Stone Skin or something, I feel like the swarms that we're going to be dealing with are large enough that I run the risk of getting like fully overwhelmed. Obviously, the enemies in here are 70 levels higher than the enemies in the barrows, but the enemies in the barrows are still over level 200, right? Like they're still very high level enemies. So it's not like I'm going to be dealing with weaklings. I'm going to be dealing with things that are slightly less out of control. And we did just get the area transition to Thinger. We are still going to just be in double speed. I'm going to basically get all the way out of I'm going to get all the way, not just to Stone City, but out to the Barrow area and save there. And I'm going to just be in double speed the whole time because I don't have time to dick around with it. Okay, so we're going to try... going through this place with double speed might not actually be optimal, but... Well, we're not invisible anymore. I don't really fully remember the path that I need to take, but I have a vague idea of where I'm going, so... This is all fine. I think we'll be fine. Alright, and we are... I was gonna say we are gone, and then I fell into the down area. We're fine, so we're out of there. And now we are gonna pop over here. We're still on double speed, just roaming around. And once we have gotten our food...
It is closed.
Oh, we can't even get our food. What time is it? It's 4:40. Right. We're leaving Stone City. We are going to go back to normal speed, and we're going to save under test. So, we have cleared out the tunnels to Eofol. Let's go ahead and look in our inventory quick. We have a couple of new gauntlets. We have Thinger here, Thinger here. Anything of interest?
Ooh.
I feel like there's a good chance that we're not going to have any items of interest from the tunnels to Eofol. That is quite sad. We never swapped our inventory while we were in there, which means that anything that we have is going to be right here. So, unfortunately, that's a nada. So we didn't get anything from the tunnels of Eofol, and but it's not a huge deal. But I would have liked to have had like an extra legendary to play with while we are heading into this next area. But that's going to be it for today. Sorry for the short stream. I probably would normally have time to do the barrows today, but I have people that I'm probably meeting at around noon, and I just don't have time today. So thank you for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure to stream for you today. I do hope to be a bit more regular, and by a bit more, I mean I'm hoping to go back to the 5 days a week, starting at 9 or earlier, preferably earlier most days. That is the goal, and unfortunately it's been a difficult goal to achieve the last couple of weeks. So hopefully we can get back on track there. On the plus side, I'm really enjoying what I'm doing. I'm really enjoying this playthrough. It's a lot of fun. So like this mod is so much fun to play with, and the fact that the rules keep changing mid-run is very fun for me. Actually, like having to like completely rewrite how I'm going to build my party and how I'm going to do stuff is kind of fun. It's also very funny that I happened to give up on making Sylria DPS right as it became critically important for her to be tanky. Anyway, that's it for today.